How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a video called First Time You Realized America Really Messed You Up. This is a TikTok compilation and it's a part one. I'm not sure how many parts exactly it has, but this is the first one. It is by TikTok React and the channel logo looks like this. Make sure you guys subscribe if you enjoy this.
If you're an American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
Literally early this morning, I dragged my ass to the embassy, which is an hour away from where I'm living in the Netherlands. I get into the embassy, I do my thing, I go up to the window, and I'm getting my passport name changed. I need a new passport so that I can leave, go back to the States to see my family, and come back into the country here. And I've been waiting for this meeting for over a month. I give the woman all of my stuff and she's like, okay, great, where are the stamps? And I had printed out a checklist from the embassy website and there were no stamps on this checklist. But apparently I needed to bring a couple of stamps so that way I could pay for the postage for the government to send me my passport, which I already have to pay for.
So why wouldn't they have provided the stamps? That I don't get. I thought for government stuff, you didn't have to pay postage.
And I already have to pay taxes in America, but I obviously don't see any of the benefit because I'm not living in the country. Why can't you just pay for my stamps? So now I have to wait 3 more months for another appointment to get my passport.
All because of 2 stamps? Dang. Well, that sucks.
So I'm moving to Portugal and I have somebody that's helping me with the visa process over there. And she's asking me questions about my income. And I say, yeah, I have a full-time job and I also run 2 businesses. And she's like, that's a lot. And I said, yeah, I do work about, anywhere from 80 to 110 hours a week. But, it's what's necessary right now. I need to take care of my son. I need to manage all these different things. And I need to be able to afford,
Would you have time to take care of your son? That's a lot of hours.
A pretty good life. And she said, well, don't you make over what the minimum is required here in Portugal? And I said, yeah, no, I definitely do, but I need to be able to take care of all those other things. And she's like, how do you have time for your son? I'm like, well, it's not the amount of time that I'd like, but that's what's necessary. And it just was really clear to me, like with the confusion, that they actually have work-life balance and you just don't work yourself to death. You can actually enjoy your life.
Spain for about 11 years, and this happened like 11 years ago. It was my first time going to the emergency room, and when stomach problems, whatever, couldn't stop throwing up. And I go in, give the girl at the front desk my ID and my debit card, and she takes my ID, checks me in, hands both cards back to me, and I was like, oh, well, maybe I give the debit card, I pay at the end. So I go in, everything, give me medicine, and I go back out. I stop at the front desk again, and I was like, hi, I'm leaving. Here's my debit card. And she just looks at me and she's like, I don't know why you keep giving this to me. You don't need to give me your debit card. I don't get it. And I'm like, oh, you don't have to pay for health services, even in a private hospital.
The thing about that though is sometimes they'll have a copay, but like they'll send you the bill right after. Pretty much you'll get the bill before you even find out what's wrong with you. It is that fast. I've had that happen one time and I was boggled. I was like, I cannot believe I have this already, but okay. But what I was saying is they do allow you to make payment plans.
Okay, I have another one. When I was studying in Spain, we had our orientation the first week of classes, and our program director sat us all down and had to explain our health insurance to us and how it worked. And basically it worked that you paid like €1,000 for the semester and you got health insurance, like free health insurance for everything, covered everything. And she had to sit us down and she had this big group of Americans in a room and she was like, listen, if you are sick, go to the doctor. And we were all like, yes. And she was like, no, like Americans don't go to the doctor. You won't go to the doctor when you're sick. So I have to tell you every year to do this. And still kids will just put off going to the doctor because you're used to just like pushing through illness. No matter what it is, I don't care if it's a cold, go to the doctor. And she had to actually like spell that out for us.
That's a big thing. And honestly, early sucks is you call the doctor to make an appointment and it's already a couple months out. And it's like, that defeats the purpose. I'm sick now. But if you were to go to the emergency room, you were there at least an hour. I mean, that's like, you get out in an hour, that's amazing. But like, I had strep throat one time, went in there, and I was literally in there for 3 hours. So that's the thing, is like, when I'm sick, like, I really have to be like real sick to want to go to the hospital, because I know it's just going to be a whole thing. So that's probably how a lot of other people feel too, I'm sure.
Okay, so I was living in Thailand and I got into a motorcycle accident because the guy in front of me turned without a blinker. Like, he was on a moped and he just kind of turned into the side of me and just knocked us both over. And so my motorcycle landed on my knee and I couldn't walk, so they needed to call me an ambulance to go to the hospital. But like, I was like, I can't afford an ambulance, so the whole time that they're like, the ambulance is coming and they're like putting me in the ambulance, I was like, how much is this gonna cost? How much does this cost? Like, I someone can pick me up, how much does this cost? Because like, in the States it could be like $4,000 to get a 15-minute ride to the hospital. And the guys just laughed at me and they were like trying to figure out the word for it, and they're like, free, it's free. And I was like, huh.
Yeah, I would have been like, if you're calling the ambulance, no, I'm fine.
Well, that's different.
I'm a black person living in Japan right now. And yeah, so when you're in America and you're shopping, you're browsing, whatever, sometimes, not all the time, in my own experience, I've never had the experience of being followed around because of my skin color, because I just don't shop that often. And sometimes when I want to go get something, I know exactly what I want. I go in, I buy it, and then I leave. But here in Japan, when you go in and you're browsing for something, the employees are walking around to help you. So they may follow you, but they're not following you because of your skin tone. They're following you because they want to help you. They want to take the initiative and be right there when you need them, when you're ready to pay, if you have questions, whatever the case may be.
Hey, I live in Ireland and
Okay.
I've lived most of my adult life here. I moved to Ireland in 1995. My teenage daughter was born here many years ago, and when she was born, I spent 2 nights in hospital before she was born. I had an emergency cesarean section, and then I spent a further 6 nights afterwards. The total cost to me was $0. I kept asking them, like, are you sure no one wants my credit card? Like, do you want my details so you can send me the bill? And they would just like laugh, like, oh, you're American. There's no bill. So 8 nights in hospital, emergency procedure, $0 bill.
So when I was in high
Crazy.
school, I was a lifeguard, and during my lifeguard training, they taught us that before we even administer first aid or CPR, we had to ask for consent to avoid being sued. Now fast forward a couple of years, and I'm in London as a waitress, and my company sends me to go do CPR training. And while I'm there, they go over the same stuff that I learned in the States, but I notice that they're completely glossing over this one particular area. So I raise my hand and I ask, what are the laws here? Like, how do you avoid being sued if something goes wrong? To which every single person in the room starts laughing at me and says, oh, you're American, right? Yeah, no one here is going to sue you for trying to save their life.
Okay, I have type 1 diabetes and I live
Yeah, I mean, Americans are petty like that, and some people would probably try to do that. But I think that's stupid.
in Costa Rica. The very first day that I was there, my insulin pump stopped working. This was like some weird fluke, unrelated to anything else. But I didn't have a doctor yet or really know where to go, so I went to a pharmacy because I needed to get long-acting insulin so I could still treat my disease. And when I went to the pharmacy, the insulin was $20 for a vial. In the United States, I pay $322 for that same vial. I
also want to add that I got the insulin over the counter without a prescription. In the United States, I have to see my endocrinologist 4 times a year to get a prescription for a medication that
That's crazy.
keeps me alive.
Here's a fun one. So I'm teaching 3rd grade in Thailand, right? And it's sports day. Kids running around, screaming, having fun, as kids do. And I hear a bang. Instantly, my heart drops into my stomach. My entire body tenses. My adrenaline starts pumping.
Someone got shot.
And I'm looking around for the shooter. And then I realize I'm in Thailand. And people don't have guns. And they don't shoot children at their school.
What was it?
It was a balloon. A balloon popped. Fuck you, America.
So I don't live abroad anymore, but for half of 2018, I lived in Germany, and I have so many stories. The town that I lived in had like a main plaza area, and there was a cafe in that plaza, so a couple of my other American friends and I decided to try it out one day, and there was a construction site nearby. We heard a really loud bang, and, you know, we kind of assumed that someone had fired a gun, and so we, like, ducked for cover, and then we were looking around frantically, trying to find, like, a place that we could run to or hide to get out of the situation, and then we realized that no one had shot a gun. No, it was a loud bang from the construction site. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be, anytime I go anywhere, I'm gonna know if they're able to have guns or not, and not look stupid. Definitely.
That's all it was. We'd been speaking in English, and we all have really obvious American accents, so all the Germans around us gave us these really sad looks, like, oh, these poor, poor Americans.
I've lived abroad for a little over a year, and coming back for the holidays, I have really come to realize that the food in this country is garbage. Since leaving the US, I have lost about 40 pounds, and I have not tried to lose weight. I haven't been conscious that I'm losing weight. It just has naturally fallen off of me because food in other countries is not overprocessed. It's not packed with sugar and preservatives and all of the things that are in the food here. And since being back, even for the short amount of time that I've been here, I have found it extremely difficult to maintain my weight, even though I'm not overeating. I'm eating basically the same diet I was eating abroad. It's simply the way the food is processed. So moral of the story, try eating organic as much as possible. This food is killing you.
It really is. That I know for sure. And I bought some milk today, and it has a 10-day guarantee. It sure does. Alright guys, if you have any other videos you'd like me to react to, please put it down in the comments below. And if you guys have a story, let me know in the comments below. Love to hear about it. Subscribe so you don't miss out on any more content. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.